Do you know what your home value is worth in today's real estate market? A lot has changed in the last few years, and when I talk to a lot of homeowners, they are quite surprised at their new home prices and to expect. In this video, we're going over the January statistics for 2025. We're going to dig into some of the implications of what's happening in the real estate market. So stay tuned. If you are looking to buy, sell, invest in the real estate market, reach out, give me a call, especially if you're considering. And right now, there's so many different variables at play. Everybody's in a different position. It right now is a good time to get ahead of it with all the different variables, whether it's the tariffs implementing between Canada and US or the other government regulations happening. There's a lot to know in the real estate market. Knowledge is power. So reach out, give me a call, pick up that phone, and I'd love to help you out. Without further ado, I'm just going to jump right into it and get into the real estate market statistics. With the tariffs looming in Canada, and now as of recording this, it's been put off for another 30 days. And so we still don't know if this is going to come into play. But pending if the tariffs do come into play, that's going to be something to watch in the future heading into March and April. When you look at the average sale price in January, overall, we have 252 total sales, which on average is right in par with the 10-year average. And the average is a little bit below the average, but we did have a couple big years worth of sales back in 23 and 2022 and 2021, where there's a lot of sales in January. But we are seeing inventory increase here. So the average amount of listings right now on the market is 2,857. That is up over 2,357 what we had in January of 2024, which is a 21.2% increase. So we do have more listings on the market right now. And this last month, we saw another 400 listings hit the marketplace. So we are starting to see more and more people getting in there. However, this statistic is going to show a little bit of discrepancies in the marketplace. So the average list price, what we have on the market right now, is priced at $1.1 million. That's going to include all of your multi-million dollar homes, acreages, everything like that. But the average sale price, and this is including everything, condos, townhomes, so this is including the whole market, the average sale price in January was $832,000. So we're looking at about $270,000 gap in the average sale price and the average list price, which might not mean a whole lot other than just showing where there's a little bit of discrepancy, where the average price point is at and where the average list price is at. But the median sale price and what we saw in January of 2025 was $731,000. List price was $834,000. So now we're getting quite a bit lower. So there is still about $100,000 discrepancy between the median list price and the median sale price, but we're definitely getting a lot closer to it on the marketplace. But if you do have a single family home, obviously prices are going to be different. When we look at the average sale price for single family homes in January, it was $7,000. So which is really still about $100,000 more than what the BC assessments was saying was the average price point in Kelowna for single family homes. We're at $938,000. So again, there is a little bit of a discrepancy in the market and BC assessments and everything like that, but just some words of caution there. That's what we're looking at in the real estate. Going back to the sales and the activity, because we've touched on demand, we've touched on pricing, but we've also seen the sales. 252 total sales versus 209 January of last year. So we are seeing an increase in uptick in buyer confidence. And that was the story going into January and going into 2025 was buyer confidence is finally back. We're starting to see interest rates come down. They're at the lowest they've been in a long time. And they are looking like they're going to continue to come down. So buyer confidence does appear to be coming back, but they also do have more choices. So they are being pickier than ever. Right now is a marketplace where home prices are quite high still, even though they've come down a little bit, but there's a good chance that we've probably seen the bottom. Heading into this, I would assume that we would have hit the bottom in the real estate prices because we're starting to see the interest rates coming down. And if we don't include any impact of the potential tariffs and the potential harm it's going to do to our economy, my guess was that we already hit the bottom and the prices were going to slowly increase. We looked at it in the real estate market, a weekly email that I put out in. Sign up below if you do want to get it, where we looked at all the forecasts from Korea and BCREA, and they all indicated that we should expect around a 4.5 to 5% increase in total pricing this year in the real estate market. Kelowna might be a little bit less because we've already priced in a lot of the price growth from what we saw in the last few years. But looking at it, we should see the bottom and see some appreciation in property values this year, which is making it good for either home buyers getting in the market. Look to see inventory continue to increase as we head into the peak listing season. And the peak listing season is April. We're going to see a maximum amount of listings on the market hit in May. And then in June, that is really when a lot of the demand starts to cut off and starts to taper off. So we see inventory start to increase slowly in March and April, and then peak in May, and then it tapers off heading into the summer in June. So looking at that as a home seller, that's something you're going to want to consider. But as a home buyer, you're also going to want to consider that when you're looking at buying a home. When you want to buy a home, when there's a lot on the market, or you want to buy it before other competition is in the marketplace. Because with the competition in May, we do also see the peak amount of buyers in the marketplace. So you are going to be competing with a number of different buyers in the marketplace. So the earlier you can get on it, normally the better. But it all depends, because if you have a place to sell, it is a catch-22. So heading into January, I was predicting that this is going to be the bottom of the market. We're going to likely see the prices increase. And this is all going to be in comparison with BMO, BCRA, Korea, and all the different organizations and the forecast they have put out for 2025 so far. Looking at 2025, we're looking, not including the tariffs and the potential looming economy issues that we're going to have with the tariff situation. But in January, the statistics were speaking for it. The total volume was up $80 million worth of sales from 2023, and also up $40 million in sales from 2024. So we're seeing increased inventory and total volume transactions happening in the real estate market. Real estate inventory is getting a little bit higher, so there's more opportunities out there for home buyers, but there's also a lot more development properties out there, and not necessarily as many development buyers out there, because we do need to see some of these townhomes sell and these apartments to really be absorbed in the marketplace in those markets. The single family home side of things, though, should remain strong, and we should continue to see a price increase there in the long run. In the short run, we're not sure what's going to happen with the tariffs and the economy. One thing I do know for British Columbia and Kelowna itself is Kelowna is really starting to become a major tech player in it. And that's contributing billions of dollars to the local economy and employment. I'm not an economist, and I'm not going to really speculate on, the potential impact, because I'll leave that for the professionals. But that is something to consider. One thing Kelowna also has going for it is it's normally a retirement community where a lot of people bringing outside money into Kelowna, so it may or may not be as impacted as other areas of Canada might be. Hey everybody, it's Mark Coons here with Selling Real Estate Group. So if you're looking to buy, sell, invest in the real estate market, especially in the Okanagan, pick up that phone, give me a call. I'd love to help you out. I also have a weekly email that you can sign up for, get information like this in your inbox every Wednesday.